we'll talk about y-intercepts and x-intercepts. So to find the y-intercept of this function, you're going to want to plug in x equals 0 here into your function. So what happens when you plug in 0 for x? You get 0 minus 9 over 0 squared minus 9. And that ends up being negative 9 over negative 9, which is just 1. So your y-intercept is at the point 0 for x, 1 for y. And you'll just get one y-intercept or possibly 0 y-intercepts. Let's now look at the x-intercepts for this function. Well, then you want to set your y value or your function value equal to 0. So you'd have 0 equals x minus 9 over x squared minus 9. And really you only need to worry about this numerator, because when you multiply x squared minus 9 on both sides, you get x squared minus 9 times 0. So, and anything times 0 is just going to be 0. So 0 equals x minus 9. So then x equals 9, and you have that, you have an x-intercept, at 9, comma 0. And you can get multiple x-intercepts, which is different from the case of y-intercepts. So let's look at something that might have multiple x-intercepts. You'll note too that this has a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0, but it's okay to cross a horizontal asymptote, as in you have y equals 0, and then you have some point that was at 9 comma 0 that you had your x-intercept. So y equals 0 there was your asymptote, and then you had some point at 9 comma 0 where your function actually crossed in some manner. So it's okay to cross horizontal asymptotes, you just can't cross vertical asymptotes. Okay, let's look at another example where you have multiple x-intercepts in this one. So you set y equal to 0, and then you only really have to worry about your numerator, and you get x plus 2, x minus 2. So then you have x-intercepts at 2, 0, and negative 2, 0. Which really, that negative 2 comes from this factor, and that 2 comes from this factor, and that 2. Okay. We should also note that sometimes you'll get no x-intercepts and no y-intercepts. Think about this function, our toolkit function, where f of x equals 1 over x. Well, we have a vertical asymptote here because you can't plug in x, or 0 for x. And then what happens when you plug in 0 for your y value, your whole function value? You get, coming over here, you get 0 equals 1 over x. And then you multiply by x on both sides, and you get a contradiction. You get 0 equals 1. And so you know you get a contradiction, and you can't find a x-intercept.